We are live.
That's what we are.
Live and what was it? We're living it. We're living our best life right now.
We are alive and well.
We are alive and well. Wonderful.
That's what we are.
Well,
that's what we are.
the good news is that the people listening to this show right now are alive and well as well.
Okay.
We are here on 93.5 FM live every day. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you watching on Facebook and social media platforms, thank you so much. We appreciate you as well. We truly do understand there's other places you could be right now, but you're here with us. And you are officially cruising
with the case handler.
You got it. What is this show about, Squeeze?
This show is about personal injury. This show is about you. Okay. This show is about you, Adam Handler, when it comes to personal injury. Because this show is on 93.5 FM right now. It's, as a matter of fact, your voice is heard every single day on 93.5 FM. You're talking about approximately 4 million people, okay, that we're reaching every week. And your voice is being heard. But what's more important is that you have helped so many people out of that 4 million people. And speaking about millions, you have settled $125 million plus for some of those people within the millions of people listening. Why? Because they got into an accident, no fault of theirs, okay? But you help them out. And you make them get tax-free money, okay? The maximum compensation. That's the reason why you are the accident attorney, the personal injury attorney. You are the man who says one chance, one choice, because you are the case handler,
baby.
That's what I'm talking about. However, you did something earlier this year at the beginning of the year by bringing your partners on this show called Cruising with the Case Handler, a show about personal injury. And you added something that was very important to this community, the immigrant community, immigration. All right. Now, Adam, you know that I have the longest running immigration show literally in the nation since 1996, consistently all the way up until now. And we forged, I would say, a relationship that has, just taken over the Caribbean community where information and knowledge is concerned on personal injury and immigration. I'm proud of it. And that firm happens to be PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, of which you're a partner at running the personal injury department. And we've got top immigration attorney Nelson Madrid, who is right here. We call him the Maverick because this man don't play if you get locked up. This man will take care of you because your immigration benefits are important. If he cannot help you, or he doesn't believe that any other attorney can help you, he's going to give it to you straight. Because that's the only line he walks, straight. All right? He's the Maverick. His name is Nelson Madrid, one of the top immigration attorneys at the firm PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. I want to welcome him to the show. Nelson, wagwan.
Good morning.
Good morning, man. Everything is good with you?
Everything is good. I can't complain.
That's it. I see you're in the office early.
He's ready to go. We got to get this guy pumped up. We got to get him.
That's what I'm about to say, man.
I know.
I'm gonna send some BioLife over there. I'm gonna send some BioLife over there.
We don't need BioLife. We don't need coffee. We don't need Red Bull. We need this. You ready for this? I think I'm gonna wake him up right now with this question. Hey, Squeeze.
Yeah.
You down with PPID?
Come on. You know me. I'm down with PPID.
There we go.
That's how the show gets started.
Welcome to your show, Nelson.
I love that part. I really do. I love that part of the show. It definitely makes me smile and gets me going.
So Nelson, let's talk about immigration. What are some of the phone calls you've been getting? What are some of the things that we've been telling people that we can do for them now that there's light at the end of this 2020 tunnel?
A lot of phone calls have dealt with basically people trying to do their case on their own. They've hit a wall. Immigration has asked them for additional evidence. Their case is pending for a prolonged or an extended period of time. They don't know how to go forward. You have people who want to file for adjustment of status. They don't know whether or not the public charge rule is in effect. People have petitioned for relatives abroad. The case has been pending for a while. There's this presidential proclamation. When will that end? Definitely a lot of questions, a lot of answers. I think, as you mentioned moments ago, I think things are looking better. Things are looking brighter. We have a new president-elect, and it is my understanding that obviously he plans to make many changes which are favorable to the immigrant community.
Beautiful thing, beautiful thing, beautiful thing. That's Nelson Madrid, the Maverick, at the firm PPID, with offices in New York City at 225 Broadway, offices in Peekskill and Brooklyn. Hey, they're near you. All right. Make sure you call the firm right now. Why? Because everyone that's tuning into the station, everyone that's tuning into Squeeze, everyone that's tuning into Adam Handler, everyone that's tuning into the Maverick will get a free phone consultation. 100% free. How? Why? Well, one, you've got to call before the top of the hour. Two, because this firm is family oriented. They know what's going on with the pandemic. They know that people don't necessarily have all the funds right now, but they want to help them out. So they give them a free consultation. Then, of course, you retain them. They'll set up a payment plan for you. They'll work it out with you to get your immigration situation sorted out. Or if you get into an accident, you make it Adam Handler, the case handler, at the same firm, separate departments, respectively, immigration and, of course, personal injury. Call them at 844 774 3529. I'll be slow with the number, 844 774 3529. I am David Squeeze Annakie, and I fully endorse PPID, a company that is truly helping out the community. Regardless of where you're from, you could be from Africa, you could be from Haiti, you could be from Russia, you could be from Jamaica, you could be from Guyana, Trinidad, Grenada, Bahamas, wherever. DR, they're going to take care of you. All right, South America, it doesn't matter. Eastern Europe, they don't care. As long as you need immigration benefits here in the United States, you need to find out if you truly can get it, and you just need to call 844-774-3529 for that phone consultation, and of course, schedule one with an attorney. With that said, Adam, give me 30 seconds here. I'm going to give you the power to actually share a true success story with the people. But what I'm going to do, speaking of sharing, Adam, is I'm going to ask everybody who is watching us on Facebook, and by the way, if you're not, you can catch us on Facebook at David Squeeze Annakie, at The Case Handler, and also at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. As I give Adam the power to share right here on Facebook, because we're in both platforms, I would like to ask you watching us on Facebook, please, can you share on 20 of your friends' timeline? I would appreciate that. Share on 20 of your friends' timeline, or share in groups that you're a part of, or pages that you're a part of, or if you know of groups that could benefit from this wonderful show, Cruising with a Case Handler on personal injury and immigration, join those groups and just share the link in the groups. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to switch over to Adam Handler. We'll speak on personal injury and why he's the man, okay? Why he's not competing with anyone at the top of the hour. Why people in the Caribbean community love him. Why other radio announcers love him. Why it is that he's a family-oriented person when it comes to people who get hurt in an accident. Adam Handler, wagwan again.
Good morning, King. Good morning. So listen, everything you said is absolutely true, but it's not true because you say it is. It's true because people really do feel that way. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're hearing me for the first time, how are you? It's nice to meet you. I've been doing this I've been an attorney for over 17 years. I've been practicing personal injury for over 15 years. Almost exclusively for the Caribbean community. I started my own practice 6 years ago. I brought it over to this firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. They did not have a personal injury practice. They had immigration, they had real estate, they had criminal defense, they had matrimonial. They did not have PI because they never really had the right attorney to run it. And as soon as they found out that I was a quote unquote free agent, that's when the magic happened. And literally, we've been setting the personal injury world here in New York City and New Jersey on fire. I personally obtained over $125 million for my clients. In the past 2 years, we're almost at $40 million alone. In the past 2 years, $40 million tax-free for case center clients. A truly remarkable number considering right now courts are still closed for business. They're open virtually, but there's really no jury trials, no real big way of pushing big cases to big settlements, but we've still had some unbelievable results this year. 2.5 million, 1.7 million, 3 million, another 2.5 million, 622,000, 600,000, 925,000. I mean, big numbers here. And, we always say, don't take our word for it. Take the words of those people that have unfortunately come before you and have woken up, gotten about their business, and then all of a sudden, bam, disaster struck. And we like to highlight those cases every day on this show. Most particularly like to highlight them on Tuesday. And what's so special about Tuesday, Nelson? Why do we highlight them on Tuesday?
Yeah, what's up with Tuesdays?
Tuesday it's actually Testimonial Tuesday.
Testimonial.
And Squeeze, what is Testimonial Tuesday?
Testimonial Tuesday is basically, clients who have received settlements by way of the case handler himself. You have, fought for them very hard for the maximum compensation. And that's where, of course, you have them holding a big fat ass check.
Yep.
Right? That's what it is.
Listen,
all right?
We understand there's no redos in personal injury. You can never reopen a case. You can never get more money once it's settled. And that's why we say one chance, one choice, your case handler. And if we could share a true life success story, I think everybody would appreciate that. For those of you listening on 93.5 FM, if you can safely do so now or later, check out the Facebook page, or check out the Case Handler on Facebook. Check out Case Handler on Instagram. I actually was looking at my Instagram page this morning. We had posted a really great picture. And right now I am, let me do the math, 59 followers shy of 7,000, right? I'm approaching 7,000 followers, 59. I'm at 6941. So 59 more followers. Let's see if we can make this happen. I'm going to actually, I never really request anything of people listening to the show. As far as I'm concerned, you're listening. That's more than enough. But I would love it if before the top of the hour, I had 7,000 Instagram followers. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can safely do so now, go on your Instagram page, check out the Case Handler, like and follow the page, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about, exactly what we're doing here. So let's go to the videotape, as they say. Now, Squeeze, if you could see, this is a Queens accident. Her name is Angela. It is loading. I don't know why it's not coming up right now.
Well, you can talk about it. I'm over here trying to get you to 7,000, man. That's what I'm doing right now.
All right, I appreciate that.
That's what I'm doing right now. I'm inviting some friends.
This was a crazy case, and by crazy I mean a woman was in an accident, and as a result of being hit by another vehicle, she crashed into a house. I wish I can show this photograph right now. I don't know why I'm having difficulty doing it, but she crashed into a house, had injuries to her neck, her back, her shoulder. We got her. She didn't want the amount of money being broadcast on the station, but it's a confidential settlement, and it was something that we were able to do within a few months. And if you could read that quote for me, Squeeze.
Okay, I'll read this quote of this true success story. If you're like me and never had an accident before, I can vouch that if you choose the case handler team, you will be satisfied with them. My case wrapped up fast. They did a good job and I would recommend them to my own family. This is Angela from St. Albans, New York. Now, I know that when you don't see the money amount, it's big money.
It is big money.
Big money.
I've had situations, people, and I'll ask somebody, I say, hey, would you mind, doing a review for us on Facebook or Instagram? And they say yes. And they say, the two questions they usually ask are, do I have to use my real name? And do I have to tell them all the money we got? We obviously want to protect the privacy of our clients. Some of them don't mind. Some of them want to brag and boast. But look at this photograph, Squeeze. I mean, listen, this is a serious accident. Do you think in a million years that Angela woke up thinking that she would crash into a house?
No.
No, I mean, come on. You never know when disaster is going to strike. You never know when an accident is going to happen, whether it's a car accident, a trip and fall, a slip and fall, a construction accident. I mean, look at the damage to these vehicles. This is a very serious.
That's a serious accident there, man.
Yeah. And that's a big truck she was driving. That's that's a Sequoia or a 4Runner. Those are right. Those are heavy duty vehicles there.
V8. And it looked and that engine got crushed.
Absolutely.
The front of that car is all crumpled up. The front of the car looks like Trump's face right now.
It's the real deal. I mean, this is a serious accident. She had a ton of choices of attorneys, and she chose your boy, the case handler. And we didn't let her down. We got her an excellent settlement very, very quickly. And that's exactly what we do, Squeeze. We don't waste time. I have no interest in dragging cases out for my clients. I go for the maximum amount as quickly as possible. If the numbers are right on settlement, we take it. If the numbers are not right on settlement, what do you think we do?
Hey, you do the right thing. Of course, and let them know. Yeah.
We go to trial. Let the judge decide. Let the jury decide. You know, we understand one chance, one choice. I'm your case handler. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law. PPID is Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. Speaking of Pollack, Isaac, DeSico, the maestro.
Hold on, Adam, I'm sorry. Before we go to the maestro, how much does it cost to hire you?
That's an excellent question.
A lot of zeros.
An excellent question. A lot of people think it's expensive to hire such an amazing, handsome, dedicated, and passionate
oh boy, here we go.
But guess what? The joke's on you. I work on what's called a contingency fee, meaning I don't get paid until if and only if I'm successful for you. So there's no out-of-pocket expenses. At the end of the case, if I win you money, I earn my fee, and it's paid out of the settlement. If I don't win the case, I mean, it rarely happens, but things do happen. You know, over the course of thousands of cases, you know, things have gone wrong, I admit, but never ever a situation where we left money on the table. Sometimes the evidence flushes out that my client's at fault. I once had a client that swore they had the green light. Mr. Handler, I had the green light. I had the green light. All of a sudden, a video pops up. The other side got a video, the traffic camera. My client had the red light. We couldn't win. I mean, you know, there's some things you are unavoidable. So there's really no risk to you, no reason why you shouldn't have what you believe to be the best possible attorney fighting for you and your family. And that is the case handler. That is Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. Whether it's personal injury or immigration, you can trust us, and you can trust us to do a great job for you and your family.
Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Adam Handler. He's called the case handler because he has handled so many cases, and he is truly the star, the celebrity attorney right here on the station as a personal injury attorney. Work with him, go with him. He treats you like family. He's a very honest guy because he works with an honest firm, PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Hence the reason why we're doing this great show, Cruising with a Case Handler, on, of course, personal injury and immigration. I am David Squeeze Annakie, and I'm here with the attorneys. You heard from Adam Handler. I'm here with Nelson Madrid, and also, of course, Conrad Pollack just joined us right here. And, of course, he's the managing partner at, of course, the firm. And we call him the architect. We call him the maestro. Let's welcome him to the show. Wagwan. Conrad, you good?
I'm good. Good morning. Sorry I'm late. I am involved in a seminar on the ramifications of the incoming Biden presidency and the changes in immigration laws. So I apologize for being late.
I'm very happy that's it, though, and not the Ataton.
Right, the Atherton.
All right, go ahead. So what's going on? What's going on with that?
No, you know, well, what's going on? I mean, we have, you know, in literature, medieval history, the Mad King, you know, unfortunately, we have our modern day version of the Mad King in the White House, and this guy is just can do anything and everything he can, not only to stay there as long as he can, but to just tear things down and break everything, you know, steal all the furniture. You know, it's just unbelievable if you're following what's going on in the news.
Yep.
It's just unbelievable. But hopefully we'll get through it. But anyway, look, it's a sideshow, and it's a distraction what's going on there in Washington right now, and with Trump, and he's tweeting like crazy again about all the fraud in the election, which hasn't been, nobody's provided any evidence of yet. Anyway, the fact is the laws will be changing. Biden will be president in a couple of months, and there's a lot of good news on coming. I was going to say the storm front. You know, I'm so used to the last 4 years storm front analogy, but no, the storm has passed, or is passing violently, but it's passing. and in a couple of months, things will be settling down. And particularly with immigration, there are going to be some major changes. And
Are we gonna be able to help more people now, Conrad? Now that the new
well, clearly, I mean, the one thing I know a lot of people are concerned about is the travel ban.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
not,
of people
it's
asking
not,
about that.
yeah, it's not certain yet whether it's going to be lifted on December 31st. The way it works is, in order for it to continue past December 31st, the president has to take affirmative action and actually extend it. Otherwise, it expires. My guess is Trump is going to extend it. Whether Biden, when he gets in, will terminate it or not is going to be a question really in terms of public health. Because you can bet that, there's already talk. If Biden were to do that, then it might appear that, on the one hand, he's saying the pandemic, the virus, everyone's got to wear masks and they've got to take it seriously. On the other hand, he's going to open up the border and let all these immigrants in that allegedly are going to infect us. That's going to be the political line there. So I don't know whether he's going to knock out that ban right away. Time will tell. Hey, we may have a vaccine at that point, so time will tell. But other things, a lot of good stuff is going to be happening. The list is so long, I don't even know where to begin. In fact, the general is putting something together. Alan Kay is coming on either tomorrow or Thursday, and he's going to be talking about the whole laundry list of changes that are going to be made. Trump, the Trump administration has issued something like 400 changes in the last 4 years in the immigration system, 400 plus. So that's a lot. That's by far a record. It's going to be difficult for Biden to undo 400 changes in a short period of time. But the Muslim ban is going to be gone, that's for sure, which is a good thing. There's going to be changes to the asylum process. There are going to be changes in terms of priorities, in terms of people that are in removal proceedings. They'll have more options. They're not going to lose their case and automatically, knock on the door for them to be deported. A lot of things like that. And in particular, the fear that the Trump administration has fostered throughout immigrant communities over the past 4 years, that's going to go away. In general, that's a good thing. If you're an immigrant out there or you're living in a neighborhood where it happen to be a lot of immigrants, that has been a fear that is perpetrated through these communities for years now. That's going to end, which is a wonderful thing. Anything to add, Nelson?
I think obviously there's some other changes, such as, as I mentioned yesterday, increasing the number of U visas from 10,000 to 30,000.
What's a U visa? Tell people what
U
visa
is basically for a crime victim that has information that will be useful in any investigation, or someone who was the victim of a crime and cooperated with law enforcement officials. He's also talking about going back to priorities, creating priorities on who to remove from the United States. This was something done during the Obama administration, where people typically fell into 4 categories. Obviously the first priority were violent criminals, multiple DWI arrests, drug traffickers.
Dangers to the community.
Right. So those were the first people that they were actually targeting and focusing on. Obviously then there was a second, third, and fourth. Fourth priority were people who just unfortunately went to the unscrupulous travel agent on the corner, tried to file a case, and the guy took his money, and now this person who's been in the US for 20 years, never been arrested, has 4 or 5 children, owns a house, finds himself in removal proceedings. So under the Obama administration, obviously this person wasn't worth, it just wasn't worth pursuing this case against this poor gentleman who's been here for 20 years, never been arrested. Again, he tried to go cheap, went to the travel agent on the corner. They completed papers for him and he found himself in removal proceedings. And again, in my opinion, I think that's a good thing, because we should spend our resources, obviously on the more serious offenders, the people who do not belong in the United States, and there are many of them.
Yeah, what the Trump administration would do, and are still doing, and they will be for the next few months. They might come knocking on the door looking for some rapist, and the rapist doesn't have to happen to be there at the time. The person answering the door, is a dishwasher in the diner down the block. Well, guess what? Show us your papers. You don't have your papers. They take him in instead of the rapist. I mean, that's common, right? Common. All right. So, guys like this
Immigration
that have
nation.
guys that have no record. That's right. It was you see it in the documentary several times.
Right.
Guys that have no issues with the police, never been arrested, have done nothing except work, support their family, send money back to their family in their country. That are getting swept up in these raids, and it's really unfortunate. Upending people's lives, and obviously as well, these people, especially these people have been at 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They have families here. They have kids here. They have U.S. citizen kids here. There's never been a lot of thought by at least the administration. There's never been a lot of thought given to these families. You have a family here, and okay, the father is illegal, and maybe the mother's illegal too. They get picked up, they get deported. They have U.S. citizen kids here. What happens to those kids? Okay, they might end up with some relatives, or maybe they end up in foster homes. But what about the psychological toll and sociological toll on these kids? Same thing.
I think
same issue with what was going on at the border, where they would deliberately, as a fear tactic, as a deterrence, separating kids from their families at the border. Right? What happens to those kids? When they become in 20 years. I mean, what are they? Studies show that they're basically turning these kids potentially into sociopaths. That they become societal problems 20 years from now, 30 years from now. There is absolutely no thought given to what's going to happen to these people in the future. They're not leaving. These kids are going to be here. What happens to them 20, 30 years from now? That, as usual, as always with this administration, there is not one iota of thought given to the future. It's all about today.
But
Same thing with climate. Same thing with
kids,
climate change. Let me finish my thought. Climate change. You name it. What's going on right now? You think Trump is thinking about what damage he's doing to the country and how it's going to affect the next election, or climate change? The lack of attention that they've given to the problem. I mean, we've had a record hurricane season this year, more hurricanes than ever. I mean, the list just goes on and on. If there's one pervasive theme that has existed throughout the last 4 years with this administration, there is no thought given whatsoever to what's going to happen in the future. What happens to the next generation? What about our kids? And this is one more example of it. It's
We got top of the hour.
Words can't describe.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with the Case Handler. The show is on personal injury and immigration. The law firm is PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. If you would like to get your questions answered absolutely free over the phone, call the firm now, schedule an appointment with the attorney, and they will speak with you off the air privately and confidentially. You may call them now to get that free phone consultation by way of a scheduled appointment with an attorney at 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. 844-774-3529. We will continue on our Facebook pages now. Stay with us. And we continue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get into some immigration questions. But as you can see, Conrad is never happy with the guy that's currently in the White House, But we're making headway, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe that we are. I do believe it's a new dawn with Biden. I do believe things will change. Let's just keep our fingers crossed and move forward. We got to keep moving forward. That's what it is. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Yes, Nelson, you wanted to say something earlier.
I forgot.
Talk about honesty, man. I love that. And anything you want to throw in there, Mr. Handler, while you go through,
Listen, we are passionate attorneys. We are proud attorneys. We are skilled attorneys. And I think this show really highlights, it's more than just pushing paper and processing cases. We really do get behind what we believe in. And that's one of the most beautiful things about being an attorney, is that, your opinion matters because it affects the way you represent individuals, affects the types of cases that you take, right? There are attorneys that are fighting the others on the government side, immigration wise. They think enough is enough and we need to, pull back and tighten the reins and tighten the rules. And there's people prosecuting immigrants, but there's also those individuals such as ourselves that are fighting for the rights of immigrants. Same thing with personal injury. Half of the personal injury attorneys are trying to screw individuals from getting money in an accident, right? And then there's the other half, the good side, the force, the light side of the force that are doing what they can to prevent those individuals from being victims twice. So law is always a polarizing topic. Lawyers always have, what they say, you put 3 lawyers in the room, you'll have 5 opinions. So we really do.
That's a good.
We really
That's
try.
a good one.
Yeah, we really try to let everybody know who we are and how we do things here at Pollack Guys at Tasico. And I think this show makes it abundantly clear.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Cruising with a Case Handler, show on personal injury and immigration. So make sure you reach out to them. The number once again is 844-774-3529. Gentlemen, are you ready for some immigration questions? Batter up. All right. Let's get to the first one here. I am trying to convert from B2 to F1 visa while in the USA. What's the process? How long before my B2 I-94 date should I apply? And before you gentlemen answer that question, if you can just expound on what B2 is and what an F1 visa is also, that'd be great.
B2 visa is a tourist visa, and F1 is a student visa. So this person came as a tourist and wants to change to student study here. You got to be very careful in terms of your timing there. Typically, you don't want to do anything for at least 3 months after arriving here. If you do it sooner than that, it's very likely these days, especially immigration, is going to think that you came here to study all along. The advantage to having a student visa, obviously you can study, but in addition to that, from the immigration services perspective, a student visa, you could stay here basically as long as you're studying, although the administration is currently trying to change that. But currently, student visa, you could stay here as long as you're studying. Tourist visa typically gets 6 months and you got to go. So a lot of people will have the idea to get a tourist visa, come here, change the student, and they can stay here, for whatever number of years that they're studying. So the immigration service is well aware of that, and they're trying to change that. And the administration has issued instructions, new regulations that are pending right now that will limit the amount of time that people can stay here in student status. Which also has its own really negative consequences in so many ways. But beyond that, as far as what this person wants to do not do anything. Don't even contact the school for at least 3 months until after you get here. That way, at least, the facts will, or the circumstances will show that you didn't come here just with an intention to study. Because if they think
what
you
if the
came here to
individual
study, you're out.
What if the individual is back in their country and they have the B2 visa and now they decide that they want to come to the United States to study? What should they do?
Well, they can apply for the student visa at the consulate if the office is open, but they need to demonstrate that they've already been accepted to a school, that they can support themselves. But it sounds like this person is already here or is coming here.
Right. But I'm just giving a different situation.
If you're not in the country, it's a totally different deal. If you're outside the United States, you go into the consulate and you apply, but you have to. Then there is no intent issues. There are no potential misrepresentation issues if you're not here.
Right.
I'm talking. What she's talking about is what I'm talking about. The misrepresentation issue she's concerned about. Because you can't do it too soon, otherwise appearances will make it look like you lied and came here as a tourist intending to study all along. That's what she's concerned about. Timing, it takes a long time. All right, and you're going to need an extension, what's called a bridge application on the B2. You're going to have to do it probably twice because the change to student is going to take more than several months. It's complicated. It's a lot more complicated than it used to be because rules have changed. This is not something you want to do yourself. All right, you should call us and we can help you with that. We do that often.
Absolutely. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Conrad Pollack, aka the Maestro, one of the immigration attorneys, one of the top immigration attorneys at the firm. Make sure you call them at 844-774-3529 and schedule that free phone consultation with one of the attorneys. Let's get back to some more questions here. Thank you so much for answering that one. Here's another one. It says here, I have a pending I-130, spouse of LPR, Now, if I can manage J1 research visa for physician and go to the United States, and while in the USA, my I-130 got approval, will I be able to change my status to green card from J1? If not, will I have to come back to my home country to proceed with green card?
First off, yeah, that's kind of convoluted in terms of the facts.
Yeah.
Bottom line, if he has an I-130 already pending, that means someone, his parents, spouse, whatever, someone has applied for him to get a green card, an immigrant visa. If he doesn't have a J1 and is planning on applying for a J1, it's going to be very difficult to get it, because to get a J1, you have to demonstrate the opposite, that you're a non-immigrant, that you're not coming here to live, that you're just coming here temporarily for whatever the research program or the exchange program is going to be. That's what a J1 visa is, research or exchange visitor or medical research. You have to demonstrate non-immigrant intent, that you're coming here temporarily. If you applied for your green card already, you've demonstrated the reverse, the opposite intent, and that's going to make it very difficult to get a J1. I don't know if that answers this person's question, because I don't really know where the question in that where the question was there.
Also,
Okay.
some J1s are subject to a 2-year foreign residency requirement. So that's something he wants to be careful about.
Depending on where he's coming from, what country, it depends on what type of work he's going to do. Is he on the skills list? There's a lot of issues there. Again, this is not something that you want to get an answer the way we're doing it right now. You need a lawyer.
Absolutely. All right. Once again, the number is 844-774-3529. Let's get into another question here before we conclude. This one says, F4 category. It's been a year since we were document qualified. Do we need to do another police certificate when our interview date comes?
Well, that's going to be determined by the NVC, number one, the National Visa Center. That's where the case is, number one. Number two, it's going to be determined possibly by where they've lived. I mean, if they've stayed in the same country where the police certificates were already done, then they probably won't. But if they've been traveling around the world, been to 5 different countries in the last year, which is unlikely, but again, just for hypothetical purposes, they might need another police certificate. Police certificate, by the way, is a requirement before you get your final visa interview, basically to show if you have any criminal record for whatever jurisdiction you've been living in. So that's going to be something that the NVC is going to determine. I haven't noticed that to be the case. Like I said, unless the people have been moving around a lot of different places, I haven't seen that lately to be the case.
Gotcha.
And for those who don't know, an F4 is the brother or sister of a U.S. citizen.
Right.
Also, there's typically about a 14-year wait, so we're assuming that this person's priority date is current.
Yeah, it sounds like he must have applied, somewhere between 2005 and 2010, probably even earlier.
Okay. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. It's brought to you by the law firm PPID. That's Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And with offices in New York City, 225 Broadway happens to be the address. In Peekskill, the address, Nelson?
Peekskill, it's 906 South Street, Peekskill, New York. We have an office in Brooklyn. It's 107 Avenue I, Brooklyn, New York. And our main office is at 225 Broadway, 3rd floor, New York, New York.
There you go. So everyone that's watching us, do remember the phone number, 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. If you ever get hurt, you also need to reach out to the case handler. His name is Adam Handler. And today, we will get him to 7,000 followers on Instagram. That's what he wants
we can
for.
Do it, Squeeze?
I know we can do it. All right.
Facebook too. Let's juice it up, baby.
I thought you were talking about Facebook, so I was pushing on Facebook for you.
No, I'm talking about Instagram.
So Instagram. So everybody that's watching this, if you can go to Adam's Instagram page, which happens to be the Case Handler. All right. Just put in the Case Handler in Instagram and just follow him right now. And let's help him to get to 7,000 followers today. All right.
Did you see that badass picture we posted on Instagram yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Of Sandra and myself. We can.
Yeah, I saw it. I commented on it.
Yeah, I know.
I was talking about which new band this is.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, that's
2 people.
That's a badass team of right there. Sandra,
I see that.
Many people know the backstory. Not everybody does, and maybe we'll talk about it more when we're live on 93.5. Sandra and I started this practice with literally a box 6 years ago, a box. We both left our prior firm. It was not on good terms. We stuck together, and she's my ride or die. And I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish together. And I love her very much.
That's what I'm talking about. See, such a humble, modest guy, you know. Adam Handler, ladies and gentlemen, right here with Conrad Pollack and Nelson Madrid. We call them the Dream Team, aka PPID. Make sure, of course, you check him out at 844-774-3529. Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome. And of course, this is an attorney advertisement brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. With that said, we make way for tomorrow's show at 9:30 on the AM, and it's a Wednesday. It will be. The week promises to be beautiful where the weather is concerned. Make sure you go out, get some fresh air, but make sure you're at least 6 feet away from everyone and wear those masks. With that said, I conclude. Any final words, gentlemen?
It's going to rain tomorrow.
What?
Oh, it is? I'm sorry.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Thanks a lot for bursting my bubble. Let me just
So
throw
get
that
out there
monkey wrench in
today. Today is a beautiful day. Today is probably the last day we're going to see like this for some time. So get out today.
Get
Tomorrow's
out
going to
there
rain.
and enjoy it.
And then
All right.
Thursday's getting cold.
Thank you so much, Conrad. All right.
Hey, I've got my hand everywhere, politics, weather, I'm everywhere.
Quick one before you go. Can I ask you something? Why did this guy quit his job? You know
Which
what I'm
guy?
talking about. The guy who just quit his job at the Department of Justice.
Oh, why?
Here we
Because
go.
I just want to take 2 minutes out, man. The show has ended, so I can ask him
why?
that.
Because Bill, has the show ended?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, we're still
Okay.
live, but I want to get
Um,
Conrad's opinion. The show has ended, but
Bill Barr is the Attorney General of the United States.
Mhm.
That's his official title, but his real title is attorney for Donald Trump. I mean, he's just reversed so many different traditions and norms at the Department of Justice to satisfy his boss. Trump uses Bill Barr in the Justice Department like any other of his lawyers. They're his personal lawyers. It's not the way it's supposed to be. So Barr came out last night and said that even though the Department of Justice lawyers already have the authority and the ability to investigate any kind of voter fraud or anything else for that, any other kind of federal crimes for that matter. He basically came out with a memo saying, you guys can go and look at whatever irregularities, fraud there might be in the electoral process that just the election just occurred, as long as it's not, minor stuff. If it's minor stuff, leave it alone. But anything that you find suspicious, go ahead and investigate. And that was a substantial break with tradition. The guy in charge of, I forget his specific title, but he's in charge of electoral crimes and so on,
right.
resigned because he said that's just a bridge too far and he doesn't want any part of it. And this is a guy, by the way, who's won all kinds of awards for integrity and for ethics and so on and so forth. And he basically in his resignation letter, he said, I have one. The most important thing in my life has been the receipt of this award that he had won, demonstrating how ethical and how upstanding a citizen and lawyer he is. And he said he's not going to allow it to be tarnished by this nonsense. Basically, that's in a nutshell what he said. And he resigned, quit. All right, good for him. Good for him.
Okay.
And of course, Trump fired his defense secretary yesterday. He is getting rid of next is the FBI. The FBI director is going to be fired probably today or tomorrow as well. He's just getting rid of everybody.
There you go. All right.
Everybody, he's getting all of his. He's going to just knock everybody out that he can, get his cronies in there as much as possible. As I was saying earlier, he's going to do as much damage as he can before he leaves. He's going to take down as many things as he can with him, and he's going to steal whatever isn't nailed down. It's obvious what he's doing. A lot of it has to do with politics too. That's why the Republican senators haven't come out against him. Georgia is going to be a runoff election in early January, which is going to determine the fate of the Senate, whether it's going to be Democrat or Republican. This has a lot. That's why the senators haven't come out against him either, because they don't want people going Democrat. They want to keep the pressure on. And you're going to hear a lot now about how, God forbid, these two senators that get elected are Democrats. Here comes the socialism again. We're going to become Cuba. We're going to become Venezuela if the Democrats win. So it's coming.
Thanks for your opinion there, Mr. Conrad Pollack, on what's going on out there in the atmosphere, this hemisphere. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we'll join you tomorrow again. Thanks again, Conrad. Thanks, Nelson. Thanks, Adam. And we'll catch up and talk tomorrow. Peace out.